Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's the Mac, and welcome back to another showcase of John Tiller Software, War Game Design Studios, Normandy 44. And wow, yeah, what to say? What to say about this title? Wow, Operation Overlord, Operation Neptune, yeah, the major invasion of France and the liberation of France and the crusade to defeat Germany at 44, June 6, 44 there. Wow, so much been written, so many movies, so many books, so many analysis, so many things going on out there. Who am I to cover the history of this? Well, you all know it. All you wargaming people that are interested in this and the Second World War know the story, know the deal, read the books, played the games. So this will purely be a showcase of the game and what you get with it. I will try to refrain from a lot of history talking. But wow, yeah. So this is actually the second Panzer campaign that was ever released from John Tiller back in the year 2000. It was received well, I think. It is, I think, one of the harder titles to actually cover. The research that gone into it is huge, and the game mechanics are slightly different. Well, they're the same, but there's a lot of crunching different in numbers and parameters and stuff to actually make this work, because it's such a complex operation and such a huge area and so many units involved that it's pretty hard to combine all that in one game, I guess. So, right, released in the year 2000 there, and it's a gold standard edition now. That's on the John Tiller site. It's been around for 2 years now, 1 year. They revised the games to put them up more into modern standard, basically. This game has not had the recent update though of the high resolution zoom in 2D mode. Still, it hasn't got that from what they implicated on the Panzer battles. It hasn't got that yet, but it's probably coming soon. They're all working on those remaining titles. Yeah, so Normandy 44, man. Let's see here. Yeah, so it's on the John Tiller site there. You got, tells you all the story here in short, and what comes with the game. So we're going to be looking at that, different kinds of scenarios in there, and the features and some of the notes and all that. So it was largest airborne, I mean seaborne and I guess airborne invasion in history. There was a lot of planning that went into this and deception of the Germans. The Atlantic Wall that was planned and reinforced there by, I think Rommel was in charge of it at one point, and huge stretch of land to defend, and a couple of factors that played in. The West Wall was not complete to start off with when the invasion. It was at some places they were only constructed like 18% of it, so and was very thinly held, basically because it's such a huge area, and the Germans were fighting in the Russians there, committing a lot of forces. So and Italy, there was battles in Italy as well, and the African campaign was over by now, but the Italian campaign was in full swing there. So there are some alternate scenarios as well in this game from Ed Volcano Man. There's a total of 96 there, and yeah, let's dive into the folder here. Yeah, so this is what the folder looks like when you install it there. There's plenty of stuff here. There's loads of the documentation and stuff, good reads. The most important ones are definitely the 44 changes there, the recommended rules for playing the alternate scenarios. There are, I guess, supposed to be better and more researched and altered. Still, the stock scenarios are really good though. What else you got here? You got the old, the notes is good, as always. This explains a lot here about what you actually, how the game is constructed, and the differences. For example, Smolensk 41, that was the released in '99, the year previous to this game. So there's, like it says here, that the Normandy campaign had three phases: the landing and consolidation of the beachheads, the build-up phase, and the breakout phase. Basically, those were the big main three there. And so the Allies secured the landing areas, fought off the German counterattacks, and generally expanded the beachhead. This time period saw the gradual expansion of the beachhead. Monty's initial effect to take Caen, the captured Cherbourg, and the German failed efforts to repulse the Allies. The second phase of the battle started with the end of Operation Epsom, July 1st, 1944 there. And from then on, the battle truly bogged down into one of attrition. So, explain a bit how you would put that into the game there. So the title mainly concentrates on the initial stage of the battle, the landing and the consolidation of the beachhead, and they have provided a map covering all the ground covered, and the full German and Allied order of battles through August 15th, 1944. So you can actually create your own scenarios, and if you want to do that, they have implemented all the OOBs and units to be able to do that. So the difference between Smolensk and Normandy is huge. I mean, just the operations themselves are pretty vastly different, but the computer mechanics are the same, yeah. But however, one is an exploitation battle, and the other is a campaign largely of attrition. Yeah, so in Smolensk, it's more about storming across with your armored spearheads and encircle enemy units and gain ground fast. While in Normandy, it's a slug to move forward, especially through the rough bocage and all that. The unit scale is actually smaller than Smolensk. It was required because of their frontage and the German need for more units, but also desirable to better differentiate units and the armies themselves. So, expected losses. They will appear light, but it will accumulate, of course. So the Allies had vastly air superiority during this. They basically controlled the skies and were carpet bombing and doing all kinds of nasty things. The Germans were basically, they couldn't move during the day. They had to move during the night. And even then they were harassed. And so they were in a pitiful state at this. They couldn't move up the reinforcements. I think they had a plan of actually launching, the plan was from Rommel that the Panzer forces were going to be held in reserve and then be used to smash in and to destroy the bridgeheads, basically. But I think it was lack of information and poor coordination and just complex command structure of the Germans made it not work during D-Day. And they were actually caught by surprise there as well. The scale and the date of the attack as well was not expected. And the area that they attacked was not considered either. They thought it would be attacking more north, but they actually attacked more of the south, the Normandy coast there. So they're taking lots of stuff into consideration here. So here's a little tutorial as well for when you start playing, you're going to have a hard time getting off the beaches. And you have to think the way the game mechanics are made. So we'll explain that sort of how you do it. And if you don't make it, you're screwed, basically. And then you got into the hedgerows and advance of the Germans. So they talk about all kinds of, gives you good tips here how to actually play the game, because it doesn't really play out as many of the other. I mean, the game mechanics are the same, but using the tactics are different, if that's a good way to put it, I guess. So you got stuff about the original research here, how they got the map there, unit ratings, they explain that, strengths, speed, how the AP ratings are explained here. So there's a lot of detailed stuff here to read. Good stuff, I guess. Defense ratings, anti-air ratings, and how they got back the order of battles, and all the research here. So some good stuff there. Other than that, there's not that much documentation in this game. There are, of course, user manuals. We looked at those before. There's Thomas Hook that made the music. As usually, there's only music now when you have completed a scenario, and this is the guy who made that. You have the getting started, which you recommend you to play to get the feel of, because you get to try out all kinds of stuff in there. That's actually a big part of the game, like airborne landings and how to get troops onto the beach. So it's a good one to play to get to know the mechanics of the game there. On the website, if you look on the John Tiller site, here you can actually download a scenario map. That's not actually included in the game, which is, I haven't found it anywhere. Actually, yes, I just found it now. I'm blind as a bat. Here it is. Yeah, so here, like previous titles, they show you where the different scenarios take place and how sort of the whole thing was planned, basically. They did the 82nd and 101st Airborne Division were airdropped here, and the 4th Infantry Division attacked, and this is all about that. And so this is the American sector here, and you have Omaha and all that, and how they linked up this. They swung in, because here was lots of German forces as well, and they covered that in scenarios here. Actually, how everything's covered basically up to the 30th of June there. So that's good that's included. What else? You can have a look at the getting started here. You have. I won't be playing this. I'm actually going to be playing another scenario. I think that would be more fun. This one is for you guys to play when you buy the game. Give this a shot. So this is a good one actually to really get into it. Getting back to the game here. Yeah, so there's a couple of scenarios. I mean, there's lots of scenarios, but there's also a heck of a lot of campaigns. You can play the whole thing as well, which is really fun. So they got the Utah landings here. So it's all actually done in a good order here as it progressed. So you got the Utah. So there's the stock scenario. You have the alternate one. And then you have different variations. You have this is also a stock one that was a hypothetical take on it. And so there's always a mirror image of that stock scenario made by Ed Volcanoman there, the alternate. And so it's pretty cool that they made lots of different, you could play different kinds of versions of it. You have Omaha. Also, you have Gold's Beach. You have Juno, Sword, and then it comes to something called British here, British 1. That's scenario number 6 there. So if you look at the map, it's Private Nigel there. So this is the British sector, the left flank of the invasion area, with 4 assault divisions landing against the second-rate German 716th Infantry Division. The British 1st and something Corps had an even chance of scoring a major D-Day coup by capturing the city of Caen. They didn't do that, but they captured it later. And then the 21st Division there, Panzer Division. So they have that, different versions of that take. They have Utah 2, which I think they expanded basically. So 7, yeah, it's just covering this whole area now. So you get to play, because the first one just covers this area here, but now it's covering even more of the, because it's 20 turns there. You have Omaha as well. That's covering this whole thing here. So that's pretty cool. And you see, they have that for every single landing. There's a gold, and the British, the 6th to 7th of June, the race to Caen there, it's covered in 20 turns. Normandy 2, the Bridgehead Battle, number 11 there. So, yes, it's up here for some reason. So it's covering 2 days there. And then they have a 7-day version covering the same battle area. That's scenario number 16 there. There's quite a lot here. Utah, even more expansion of the beaches there. America 3, so this one here, 14. It's the big one. It's linking hands. It's the whole thing there. It's 70 turns. It'll take you quite a while to play that. The British ones, British sector there. And here's the 16, the one I was saying above. It was it's the same as scenario 11, but it's a lot bigger one. It's 6 days there. So all is covered here, and then you have Operation Buran. This is the one actually I wanted to try out, because this is when the 12th SS Hitlerjugend Panzer Division with the Panzer was ordered to attack, basically. So it would be fun to play that. They have that covered as well. Gaumont, Villers-Bocage as well, of course. Canton, Cherbourg. 90 turns. It's a big one, this. 19 to 27 there, as they're expanding out. Cherbourg, and then you have Operation Epsom. Was the major push by the British plan, whereby they intended to advance 8 kilometers and take the bridges over the Odon River. So this is a fun one as well to play. It's big. It's a 4-day operation there. Normandy. Here is the big thing. Here's the main stock campaign of the whole. It's between the 6th and the 30th of June. It's massive. It's huge. 250 turns, man. That's going to take you quite a while to play that. A couple of months, half a year maybe, even a year, depending how much time you got spending in front of the computer. So it goes, the landing with overwhelming force, the Allies secured beaches and defeated the Germans in the reinforcement battle. But with the forces scattered far and wide and German panzer divisions on the prowl, the issue was at several times in doubt. The campaign scenario covers the first 24 days of the Battle of Normandy for a version of this scenario rating starting on D+1. Oh, so you can, this one actually includes the actual landing as well, but they made a version. So number 28 is actually D-Day +1, and you can skip the landings, I guess. Pretty cool stuff there. I think they even have a bigger one here. 7th to 30th of June there, yep, D-Day +1 there. Here's something. 19th to 30th, Normandy. After 2 weeks of fighting, the Allied bridges on the continent is secure. The next major task are to capture the deep water port, Cherbourg, and the thorn on the British flank, the major city of Caen. but thoughts of their rapid advance predicted by the planners are gone, and things have stalemated into a grueling battle in the bocage. Pretty cool stuff. Yep. Here's another. This is actually a stock campaign here. What's the difference there? This could be the one. The scenario is identical to number 27, except that it utilizes the full map. Okay, cool. And here we have an alternate version. You have this one here. This is mad. 750 turns. I'll take a couple of years, probably. Yeah, so this is a version of the campaign that utilizes the full map and indicates all reinforcements through mid-August. At 750 turns, it is 3 times as long as the standard campaign game, and is thus virtually unplayable. It is included, however, so that players will have a basis for designing new scenarios within an expanded time frame. So, yeah. But there is an old version here that is actually playable, I guess. I mean, you could play this as well, I think, if you play against a human opponent. But this one here, by Edward Kaleman, is... it can be played as human versus AI, but was created for PBM play. So, pretty cool. I'm going to fire that up and you can see what it looks like. I'm just going to put it on manual there. Yeah, so this is it. I'm just going to zoom out. It's huge. It's huge. Yeah, you have Omaha Beach, you have Utah, and you have the gold, Juno, and Sword there. So this is the whole thing. City of Cannes there. You have Carentan, Saint Lo. Yeah, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big map, man. So, pretty cool. I don't think none of the Allied units have arrived yet, so. You have Cherbourg here, yeah, this was a pretty grueling fight for that. Different kinds of units. Everything is represented here, it's cool. You have Omaha Beach. This was made so famous from Saving Private Ryan. 352nd Infantry Division, yeah, holding out there. Yeah, so this, you can see it's pretty big. And none of the reinforcements have arrived yet from the, you have some on, you have for the 21st Panzer Division, yeah, they're on the map. They're in the back here. They even have these Sumas, the captured French tanks there. For 21st Panzer Division, it was close, I guess, to the beaches. They even have some units here in Caen. Panzergun it is. Yeah, so that's it. That's the big one there. And if so, look at the. For instance, if you open up the stock, let's see. This could be the stock one. Yeah, this is the from the landing there. Let's just fire that up. You see the difference. Slightly different map. Well, not different, but actually it's the same. Yeah, it's actually smaller. Yeah, the other one's bigger. Yeah, it's a different kind of way to play this. This is obviously the most fun to do the whole thing, but it'll take ages. But very well. You don't have the, as you can see now, you have the 3D zoom in as well. 2D, I mean 3D zoom out, and the zoom in 2D is still not as crisp as those latest, but still definitely playable. And they have the standard 2D mode here. So that's what comes in the game, and so I was thinking of actually opening up, try out the where was it? Byron 1, yeah, this one here. Northwest of Caen, D-Day +1, June 7th, 1944. Actually, we're playing the alternate version here. The 3rd Canadian Infantry Division was ordered to expand their beachhead and push south towards Carpiquet. The Germans reacted by sending Panzer and his elite troops, the 12th SS Hitlerjugend, Panzer Division, to the breach in the lines. Meyer was ordered to drive to the beaches, but much of the division was strung out and no coordinated attack could be made. From this perch at the Abbaye Ardennes, he could plainly see elements of the Nova Scotia Highlanders supported by armor as they moved off towards the airport of Carpiquet. The Panzergrenadiers held their fire and waited until the time was right. The first clash between these formations was a bloody one, and the vicious nature of it set the tone between the SS and the Canadians for the rest of the war. As I note, this scenario can be enjoyed as from either side or even head-to-head play, but it is especially enjoyable as allied human versus an Axis AI opponent. Size very small, length 8 turns. Yeah, so I thought I'd play something small because it usually take a long time to play these, the bigger ones. So this is the one I was going to give a shot at. So let's fire that one up, I guess, and we will play that. I'll fire it up, and I'll start playing it in the next part, I guess. So let's do that. No. So I'm going to be the Allies. I'm going to see what kind of opposition we got here. This is an alternate version. You can pop up this, and these are the recommended rules for the Ed Volcanoman's scenarios there. The alternate assault rule. Yeah, so that one could be, I guess, I'm gonna have it on, but it's optional, I guess. Yeah, so here's some good explanation as well in this documentation about the different aspects of the game now. What you have to bear in mind as you are doing these landings and moving inland, and what to expect, and how to think when you play, basically. So that's a good read as well. I'm just going to check if those rules are correct. So look what I got here. Alternate assault resolution is on. Artillery setup, recon spotting, virtual supply trucks. Yep, I think they might be already be ticked incorrect here. Counter battery, limited program weather. Yeah, they are. All right. So let's give this a go, and let's fire it up and see what happens here. Boom. Okay, units that have been released. Regina Rifle, Royal Winnipeg Rifles. 1 out of 5 headquarters out of command. Units that have been released. B/something. Units that have been released. Highland Light Infantry. Okay, 1 of 8. It's only 8 turns. So, very small map here. So you're going to have to be playing with the zoom in mode here. So, we're going to see what happens here. We're going to be bumping into some of those preliminary attacks from the Hitler Youth. They're the 12th SS, I guess. What do we got at our disposal here? We have 3rd Canadian Infantry Division headquarters. Yep, it's the whole thing there. They have their regimental divisional artillery there. Some priests. What's this? We have the Infantry Brigade headquarters. Pretty big force there. We have the 9th Infantry Brigade committed. We have Armor Brigade headquarters, 2nd Canadian. It's the armor there. We have Sherman Fireflies. Yeah, something to keep in track is actually also the ranges here. They have soft targets. You can actually fire up to 2 hexes there, and the hard targets actually 3 range for the Fireflies. So you can just imagine what the Tiger has then. Yeah, so this is the forces I have here. Okay, we can spot German machine gun position here with 88s. We have some reconnaissance Farad units on bicycles. So what we can see here, so these are the objectives we're going to take. Buron, Norway, and here's to capture the open ground here west of Caen there. Yeah, so we're going to be diving into this sucker in the next part. So I hope you guys are going to be enjoying this. Do leave comments and stuff, and we'll be underway. So like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next part. So have a good one.